Hey guys, what's up? This is Dusty doing another one of these film breakdowns things. Still no name. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I was doing some in the off season, just kind of try it out. I was unsure what my plan for the season's going to be. This is my first one of the 2019 season, so hope you find something that's interesting here. I guess the reason I kind of want to do this is just to kind of show a little bit of kind of what is meant when we say so they're setting up tendencies and running counter to those. So we're getting into that a bit. I've got two clips I'm going to show here. This first one's from the Week 3 Broncos game. And again, what we're going to show, this is kind of a standard concept here that LaFleur likes to run. This is a play action rollout to levels. So we'll talk about what that is here in a second. And I've got you can see the drawing on the screen already. But we're going to kind of show, okay, they've set this up. What are they doing? So now I've talked a lot about, as the season goes on, Week 4 just completed as I am recording this. What it means when they're kind of opening up the playbook and running counter these tendencies. So the Packers have done a decent job of setting some stuff up over the past 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, I guess now. So I'm hoping to see kind of some more of this stuff as we go forward. But this was just kind of exciting. I thought it kind of illustrated kind of a point I wanted to get at. So what we're looking at here again, this is Week 3 from the Broncos game, and this is just the Packers play action level. This is not LaFleur specific. This is something we see a lot, and this is but this is something that he likes to run a lot. So kind of want to show what this is. So what's going to happen? We're going to roll this in a second. We're going to have Rodgers kind of fake the play action and then bootleg out this way, and then we see. So when we say levels, I mean it's really just exactly what it sounds like. You've got 3 different levels. So you've got the little drag here. You've got this kind of corner route, and then you've got this crosser under the line. So you've got 1, 2, 3 levels, kind of all going in the direction, kind of running the same routes parallel to each other but on different planes. It kind of helps when you're rolling out. You're cutting the field in half, but it allows you to kind of read the defense a little bit. You can read kind of all 3 or even 4 in this case with some of this stuff. Just based on looking in one direction. So you got these levels because you got 3 on different levels. This one here, when I kind of made this clip last week, this is called a slam route. This is Geronimo Allison off the edge. And what this does, and you see a lot of this, and there's going to be variations off of this, and I'm very excited about that's going to happen this year as well. This is not one of them. This is just kind of a standard slam route. What this is you kind of get a guy off the end of the line that look like you're blocking down to help sell the play action in that direction, and then it kind of come back underneath. And it's this delayed release, and what that can do is it can either hold a defender in place, which is what happens here, or in the over pursuit when the defense tries to get back from play action and catch up with the rollout, this delayed release can sometimes get lost in the shuffle. So this is kind of your standard play action rollout. So we'll kind of look to see how this one plays out. Honestly, how this plays out isn't as important as what I want to show. So this is kind of how this play. You saw Rodgers kind of rolled out. You've had the defense kind of going that way, so you're basically pushing them and pulling them. Rodgers is now kind of rolling back out. Allison has fallen, which is not great. But this guy here, you can see this defender here looking to pick up the tight end out of the coming out of the backfield in the drag route here. But this is also pulling him up, and you got Adams on the crosser over there. So we'll keep rolling it and kind of see what happens on this one. Again, this is not overly important. This is just kind of the breakdown of this play, but I do want to show kind of what happens and talk about what sets up next. So we now can see how everyone is tied together here. We got man to man, man picking up man, man picking up man, and then this safety is coming down to get this crosser from Devontae Adams. But there's a dude in the way. There's a dude in the way, and there's a little bit of space. And Rodgers kind of sees this. You can see him kind of looking over here. So he's got a little bit of room to cross here. And as you can see now, this man's still held in place by the delayed route from Allison. Rodgers getting ready to throw. The safety kind of tied up, and Adams wide open. So it's a nice little, you see this a lot. It's tough for the defense to cover all the time, but it's a nice little look. All right, we're now going to go to the next clip, and this is from the Week 4 game against the Eagles that the Packers had. And this is going to kind of look the same. Now, there's fewer routes. But this is the interesting thing to hear. So we're going to have, this is the route we have. We got Adams running kind of this corner here. We got MVS, Valdez Scantling running this kind of out and inside, and then we have this slam route off the edge. So the interesting thing here, this is kind of what I want to show, is they've set up the tendency of doing that the play action rollout. What this is doing now, it looks like, if you discount the slam route for a second, if what we just talked about, this certainly looks like he's going to be rolling left, and that's another point from the other one. What the Packers have done a lot of this year has done the play action right, roll out left. Now that's tough for a lot of right-handed quarterbacks. Someone like, if you look at what Jared Goff was doing in LA when LaFleur was there, it's tough to do if for a lot of quarterbacks, because you're rolling to the side that you're not arm dominant. It's just tough to make a throw. Rodgers can do that, and so they've set up this tendency now of the play action, then roll out to play action right, roll out to the left. And so you've set some of that stuff up. Well, now they're actually going to do the other way. They're play action left, roll right, but then you're also kind of running counter to that, because they're not rolling with the boot side. The only guy you're rolling to the boot side is the slam around here. Everyone else is going back, so you're looking to hit a big play off of that. And so we're going to roll it and kind of see what happens here. So you can see right here, so the play action does what it's intended to do. It draws these linebackers up, and it gets the defense moving that way. And then what's going to happen next is they're gonna retreat, but they're going to be looking boot side, because that's what the Packers have done. This is traditionally what is done out of this concept. So now you have them retreating. You have this linebacker here who I've talked about this before, but when you do some of this stuff, when you do this, so you draw the play action up, a lot of times what will happen is you get guys scrambling to retreat, to get back. And this is exactly what's happening here. I actually do not have this drawn up. This is fairly important for how this play ends up playing out. But you have these two guys here. Instead of being able to drift back into their zones, looking at the quarterback, they are now both turned and they're looking at Adams. And you can see what's happening here with MVS. And MVS has already kind of started his cut in, but he kind of cut out there to sell that. Based on that play action, the defense is looking for these routes to cut here. So you now have these guys kind of turn around and they're looking for this route to cut here. And you can also see space here. But one of the big things here is their backs are turned. The play action has their backs turned. And it looks like I've got this kind of line drawn here. That's because this looks like Adams, or they're thinking that Adams is going to run this way, because that's based on Rodgers, the way he's rolling. That's the way he traditionally does. But he's actually going to cut back out that way. So we're gonna keep rolling this. Take another peek at kind of what ends up happening. Now there's pressure. I've got the pressure highlighted here in red because red's bad and pressure is also bad. So this kind of hinders what can be done. But we see, this guy here that had his back turned is now turned back around, but he's very, very far from Mercedes Lewis. So he can't really break on Lewis, or he can, but he's pretty far away. This guy still has his back turned and is looking at Adams, who has now retreated back that way. And which means, you've still got this guy holding the edge, which means you got MVS in a ton of space right there, just a ton of space. Rodgers is not going to be able to get it to him just because the pressure, because of this man here. But you've got like two defenders that can do anything about it. This one is being pulled up on Mercedes Lewis, and this one's being pulled away by Davante Adams. Now, really, what you're looking for this little pocket here, or because Rodgers has a strong arm, again, something that not a lot of quarterbacks can do. Although I guess probably quite a few could make this throw if they're able to set up. If you've got everyone pulled in, we'll say that way if you follow the cursor, pulled in that way on the play action, and then if you're coming back this way thinking it's levels, you're looking to also maybe create a pocket over here where a defender is vacated, looking to fall under that route from Davante Adams and hit something big over here. Now that did not work here. This side did not open, but Adams is here in the middle. He's got some open space. That's Valdez-Scantling has some open space there. So it didn't necessarily work as designed. It didn't open up this huge play, but it did open up something downfield. Now, again, the pressure kind of kills it, and that stinks, but it does kind of open up also this route to Lewis on the slam route. And so that's where Rodgers ends up going. He ends up checking it down, and Lewis hurdles a man, which, I don't know, never the greatest idea, but it always looks cool, I guess. And he's able to check it down and pick up a decent chunk of yardage. But that's it. Again, maybe nothing too huge about either of these plays, but what was really exciting to me, I thought, was just that these really highlight just in back-to-back weeks. You have this setting up tendency of the play action right, rollout left to levels, and then you're running counter to that in a couple different ways, and trying to open up a big play on the backside. Just because it didn't necessarily work, they didn't get that opened up, they were not able to hit either MVS or Adams down the field. That doesn't mean it's a bad concept. They set it up well. They ran it fairly well. The pressure kind of broke it down. But I don't know. Again, this is something that I know is talked about a lot, the setting up tendencies to run a counter. I don't know that I ever see a lot of examples of it. So since I saw this big one, I kind of wanted to bring that up while I can. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Kind of like I've said through a lot of them, I'm not sure how often I'm going to do these, but I'm sure I'll pop up eventually, and I'm still writing and stuff. So hope you enjoyed this, and I guess I'll catch you next time.